Shalom. First and foremost, I would like to give all honor, praises, and glory to Yahweh, Bahashem Yahweh Shai, Bahashem Rekakadash, and double honors and respect to the elders and apostles of Great Millstone for teaching me this truth, as well as much respect and honors to the brothers that are pushing this truth in sincerity across the four winds of this earth and risking their lives and freedom to do so. I would also like to give much honors and respect to the brothers and sisters that are of the hopeful elect that are doing their very best to keep the laws, statutes, and commandments of the Most High to the best of their abilities. Shalom. I have this article right here, and this is coming from End Time Headlines. It's a fairly new article. It's dated February the 9th, so it's about a couple of days old. And so I'm going to go ahead and dive right into it. But first, I will say this right here. Before I get started, I will be very careful with some of the words that I say, because you already know how these devils like to get down when you start talking about, particular topics, such as what's, mentioned in this article right here. You already know what these devils like to do. They like to take down your lessons and suspend your channels and whatnot and take down your channels and whatnot. And so, again, I'm going to be very careful with some of the words that I say. But the title of the article, it says, Dr. Oz is urging Americans to take the Beetlejuice amid ongoing measles spike in U.S. Okay. Now, here it is. I can remember a few years back, this same so-called doctor right here, this devil, okay, he was trying to get people to get that Beetlejuice that these devils had came out with for that C-scamdemic. Here it is. I can remember a couple of years back, he had Wendy Williams on his show, and he had asked Wendy Williams, was she going to drink the Beetlejuice for that C-scamdemic? And here it is. She came out and she said no. And you should have seen the look on this devil's face when she said no. But anyway, here it is. Shortly after she had said no, after she had told him no, that she wasn't going to drink the Beetlejuice for that C-scamdemic, shortly after that, her television show, went off the air, and she got sick shortly afterwards. Okay. But anyway, back to this so-called doctor right here. Here it is. He was trying to get people to drink that Beetlejuice that, they came out with for that C-scamdemic. And we're seeing, the outcome of what's happened to a lot of these people who trusted in these devils with that stuff. Here it is. You got people having all types of issues. You got people flopping and dropping still left and right, left and right. I've lost, several family members as a result of them, running down the Esau and drinking that Beetlejuice that they came out with for that C-scamdemic. I've lost several classmates. Here it is. I have several classmates right now that are, ill, having cancer and stuff like that. All because they trusted in this devil with that stuff. But I'm going to go ahead and read this article. It's not a long article. It says, in a People magazine report published on February 9, 2026, Centers for Medicare and Medicaid Services Administrator Dr. Melmert Oz strongly urged Americans to get the Beetlejuice against its pestilence, saying, take the Beetlejuice, please, as the United States grapple with a significant resurgence of the highly contagious pestilence. It says Dr. Oz's appeal comes amid a dramatic rise in this pestilence case across multiple states, particularly in South Carolina, where over 900 people have been infected and at least 19, including children, have been hospitalized in the worst outbreak since the pestilence was declared eliminated in the U.S. in 2000. It says this particular pestilence, which was once controlled through widespread Beetlejuices, has reemerged in communities with declining Beetlejuice rates. It says prompting health officials to raise alarms. It says speaking in a CNN State of the Union interview, Dr. Oz underscored the serious threat of this pestilence pose. That this, it says, Salaki, it says Dr. Oz underscored the serious threat that this particular pestilence poses. It says, noting that while not all illnesses are equally dangerous, this particular pestilence is one where you should get your Beetlejuice. He emphasized that the Beetlejuice is a proven solution to stopping the spread of this particular pestilence. Now here it is again. Okay, this same doctor, okay, a few years back, he was trying to get people to get that Beetlejuice, okay, for that C-scamdemic, okay? And we're seeing the outcome of what's happened to a lot of these people who trusted in that stuff. Here it is. You had people who drank it. They still end up getting the C, okay? You had people that was getting other illnesses, okay? People was flopping and dropping left and right. You got people still flopping and dropping left and right, okay? You got all types of different cancers and heart diseases and all types of other diseases that are on the rise. Okay, all types of other illnesses that are on the rise after people subjected themselves to that stuff that these devils came out with, during that C-scamdemic, And see, here it is. Speaking of that, I have a close family member, a very close family member, and here it is. She came to me yesterday, and she asked me to pray for her. Okay, because here it is. A couple of days ago, she went and she had a mammogram. And if you don't know what a mammogram is where, these doctors, they examine your breast and whatnot for, I guess, lumps and cancer and things like that. Well, anyway, she had a mammogram done. And the doctor, he said that he wanted to follow back up with her because, something didn't look right. And so here it is. She's nervous. And, it may not be anything serious. I don't know. It may not be anything serious. But anyway, the doctor, he wants to follow back up with her. And so here it is. She's nervous about it. And so she came to me yesterday and she asked me to pray for her. Now, here it is. This same family member that I'm telling you about, she ran down there and she got the Beetlejuice, okay, for that C-scamdemic. And here it is. She was warned. Okay, she was warned multiple times, okay, to stay clear of that stuff. But no, what did she do? She ignored the warnings and she ran down there anyway and she drank it, okay? She drank it to try to save her job. Okay, she drank it to try to save the lifestyle that she was accustomed to living. She ignored the warnings and she ran down there anyway and drank it. And now, here it is. Since she's drank that stuff, or since she, went down there and got that stuff that Esau came out with for that C-scamdemic, she's been having health scares here and there. Okay, here it is. A while back, she thought that she was pre-diabetic. Okay, because here it is. She had said that the doctors had said that her A1C level had gone up and everything, and so she had a health scare with that right there. Okay, also too. She was having other issues too. I think her lymph nodes or something like that had swollen up or something. Okay, and now here it is. She had a mammogram a couple of days ago, and the doctor, he said that something didn't look right, and so he wants to see her again for a follow-up. And so she's been having health scares ever since she ran down there and she trusted in the devil with that stuff. But again, she was warned, to stay clear of it. She was warned on multiple occasions. I warned her, but she ignored the warnings and she ran down there anyway, and she got it. And now here it is. She's having health scares and she's nervous. And she came to me yesterday asking me to pray for her. Okay, it says he emphasized that the Beetlejuice is a proven solution to stopping the spread of the V. Okay, and see, if it was such a proven solution, they said that it was supposed to be eliminated back in 2000. If it was a proven solution, why are they saying that now it's reemerging? Okay, because again, these devils, they don't have your best interest at heart, Israel. These devils, they're forgers of lies. And they're physicians of no value, okay? That's what they are. And they don't have your best interest at heart, Israel. They don't. Esau was not to be trusted. Esau has that perpetual hatred towards our people, okay? It says, the People article highlighted a contrast between Oz's firm endorsement of the Beetlejuice and recent federal messaging that has shown confusion about Beetlejuice safety. Okay, it says this includes actions such as alterations to CDC web content that echoed long debunked claims linking, y'all see that, the Beetlejuice to autism, misinformation that public health experts widely reject. And see, that's another thing too. See, here it is. A lot of these different Beetlejuices, that these devils want to put in our children and whatnot. It's coming out, that these things are causing different conditions, such as autism and whatnot. And see, that's the thing. I mean, here it is. As soon as we come out of the womb, we're at war because these devils, they want to pump you up with this. They want to, put that in you, And again, I mean, here it is. All of these different concoctions, that these devils are coming out with is saying that they're linked, okay, to, different illnesses and whatnot, such as autism, okay? But again, this devil Esau, he's the enemy and he's not to be trusted. And this devil doesn't have your best interest at heart, Israel. Again, he'll smile in your face, act like he's trying to help you, but in the back of his mind, he wants to destroy you, okay? And see, that's what these devils want. They want to, keep people's lives short, okay? They want to keep people in a sickened and weakened state. They want to make, forever patience, because if if they cure you, that's no good for Big Pharma, okay? And so they want to keep you in and out of the healthcare system to feed Big Pharma's pockets. And again, they want to keep your lives short. Esau was not to be trusted, and I wouldn't be trusted in Esau and all of these different Beetlejuices that he's coming up with, okay? The Most High gave us herbs, and the Most High told us that Esau is the enemy and Esau is not to be trusted. And so if you're going to you put your fear and your trust in the Most High Yahweh Bashim Yahushua. You put your faith and trust in the Lord Yahweh Bashim Yahushua, and not this devil Esau. Because again, Esau has proven time and time again that he is the enemy. Esau, he's been raping, robbing, and oppressing and murdering our people all throughout history, and he's still doing it to this day. And again, back to this this quack right here, this devil right here, this same devil a few years back, okay, he was pushing that stuff that these devils that came out with for that seed scamdemic. And we're seeing the outcome of what's happened to a lot of these people who trusted in these devils with that stuff. It's not ending well for them, okay? And so again, you put your faith and trust in the Lord Yahweh Bashim Yahushua and not these devils, okay? And so what I'm going to go ahead on and do now is I'm going to bring out a couple of scriptures, and then we will end the lesson. Okay, the first scripture I want to go to is in the book of Ecclesiasticus, and this is chapter 38, and this is verse 4. And it reads, the Lord had created medicines out of the earth, and he that is wise would not abhor them. And that's right, because the Most High gave us the herbs, okay, as medicine. And, you have the apostles, as well as, the elders and other brothers, they have done edifying lessons, on the use of the different herbs and the healing properties, of these different herbs, And so, with that being said, you just have to do your due diligence, and just look those lessons up. But there's plenty of lessons out there that brothers have done on the use of the herbs and the healing properties of the different herbs and whatnot. Okay. Ecclesiasticus chapter 38 and verse 4 again, it says, the Lord had created medicines out of the earth, and he that is wise would not abhor them. And again, the Lord gave us the herbs as medicine, not these different concoctions and Beetlejuices that these devils are coming up with, that they're trying to force on the people. Okay. And again, these devils, they don't have your best interest at heart, Israel. These devils, they want to cause harm to you, okay? These devils, they want to unalive you, okay? And again, we're seeing what's happening to a lot of these people who trusted in these devils with that stuff that they came out with during that seed scandemic. They having all types of issues and whatnot. And a lot of them are dropping left and right, But again, the Most High gave us herbs as medicine. But here it is, you had that devil, John D. Rockefeller. He changed all of that. Okay, that devil, John D. Rockefeller, what he did was he changed how medicine was practiced, to basically feed Big Pharma's pockets, by, trying to keep the people in and out of the healthcare system and not curing them. Okay, because this devil, he wasn't trying to cure them. Okay, he was treating them, but not trying to cure them because, though a patient cured is a patient lost. And so these devils what they were trying to do was, this John D. Rockefeller, he was trying to keep the people in and out of the healthcare system to feed Big Pharma's pockets and to basically, squeeze all of the money and all of the life out of the people. Because again, these devils, they want to keep the people in a sick and weakened state, and they want to keep the people's lives short. That John D. Rockefeller was a straight up devil. And these devils, they're going to have to pay for all of the wickedness and all of the crimes that they have done. These devils, they have a great and terrible judgment coming to them. Thus says the Lord. Okay, this is 2 Corinthians, and this is chapter 2, and this is verse 11. And it reads, lest Satan should get an advantage of us, for we are not ignorant of his devices. And see, here it is, these devils, these, Esau starting with these elite bankers, these wicked elites, they have an agenda. And that agenda, what these devils are trying to do is they're trying to bring in the NWO. And that NWO, it consists of depopulating, okay? Because here it is, the fewer the people that are on the earth, the better that these devils can control the people as well as the resources. Again, these devils, they have an agenda. And these devils are trying to bring in the NWO, which consists of depopulating. Also, too, these devils, they want to keep the people's lives short. They want to keep the people dumbed down. They want to keep the people in a sick and weakened state. They want to keep the people in and out of the healthcare system to feed big pharma's pockets and whatnot. Okay? And so, these different snake oils that these devils are coming up with, that they want to, push up into people. These are just one of there are many devices, okay, that try to achieve this agenda. Okay? This is just one of their many devices to try to depopulate, okay, to try to keep the people dumbed down, to try to keep the people in a sick and weakened state, And again, this devil, he wants to depopulate, and he mainly wants to get rid of you, Israel. Again, who are you so-called blacks, Hispanics, Native Americans, and those that are other speckled bird that look like these other nations, which you go back to Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob on your father's side. This devil, he wants to do away with our people. He wants to do away with Israel, mainly the elect of Israel, because he knows that Israel, starting with the elect of Israel, is up next for rulership. And this devil, he knows that his time is short. And so that's why this devil, he's scrambling and he's doing everything he can to try to prolong his rulership. But no matter how hard this devil tries to prolong his rulership, this devil was given a set amount of time to rule, and we're at the end of this devil's rulership. This devil, he doesn't have much longer in the power seat. But again, this devil, he's not to be trusted. Okay? And see, it's so much is coming out now about these devils and all of these different Beetlejuices that they coming out with and that they be trying to give our children and whatnot. Here it is. So much is coming out that these about these Beetlejuices and how they're linked to different learning disabilities and different conditions such as autism and whatnot. Israel, I would not be trusting these devils, okay, with these different Beetlejuices that they're coming out with, because they don't have your best interest at heart. They want to keep you in a weak and sickened state. They want to keep you dumbed down. They want to keep your lives short. Okay, this is Job, and this is chapter 13, and this is verse 4. And it reads, "But ye are forgers of lies. Ye are all physicians of no value." And that's right, because Esau is a forger of lies, and he is a physician of no value. This devil, he pretends, like he's trying to help you, like he cares about you, but in the back of his mind, he wants to destroy you. Okay, mainly you, Israel. Here it is, this devil, during that sea scamdemic, he was acting like as though that he was trying to, save the people, And here it is, he got a lot of people to trust in him with that stuff. And look at what's happened to a lot of these people who trusted in this devil with that stuff. They're having all types of issues, all types of illnesses are on the rise, such as cancer, heart disease, clots, you name it, strokes, you name it. And here it is, I know so many people that's done had these different things that I've mentioned as a result of trusting in this devil Esau with that stuff. Job chapter 13 verse 4 again, it says, "But ye are forgers of lies, ye are all physicians of no value." And again, this devil, he's a forger of lies. He'll pretend like he's trying to help you, okay, pretend like he's trying to make things better for you, but in reality, this devil, he wants to destroy you. Okay, and this devil, he's a physician of no value, because here it is. He'll treat you for one illness, and then he will intentionally try to create another illness to try to keep you in and out of the healthcare system, to try to keep you a patient for life. Because a patient cured is a patient lost. Okay. Let's go to this is 2nd Ezra, and this is chapter 6, and this is verse 27. And it reads, "For evil shall be put out, and deceit shall be quenched." And that's right, because here it is, you have the men of the Lord, okay? We're going out on the highways and hedges, and we're putting up lessons day in and day out all throughout the week, exposing these devils and their wicked agendas, okay? And so, all of the lies are being quenched. You're having people, they're now beginning to wake up to all of the lies and the deception that these devils have been pushing out. Okay, people are now beginning to wake up and realize that Esau and all of these different Beetlejuices and snake oils that he's coming out with, is causing more harm than good. Okay, people are waking up to the fact that Esau is a snake oil salesman and that Esau, is the cancer of the earth. Esau is the reason why the earth is in a weak and morning state. Esau is the reason why the people are in a weak and morning state. Again, this devil, he doesn't have your best interest at heart, Israel. This devil, he wants to do away with you. He wants to make you a permanent slave to his NWO. He wants to keep you in a sick and weakened state and whatnot. 2 Ezra chapter 6 and verse 28, it says, as for faith, it shall flourish. Corruption shall be overcome, and the truth which had been so long without fruit shall be declared. Okay, and see, this truth is being declared. Okay, again, you're having people that are now beginning to wake up. You're having people that are now beginning to no longer buy into the BS, okay, and the lies that these devils are pushing out. Okay, people are beginning to wake up to who the wicked really is. And again, that wicked is Esau Edom, the serpent-clad white man, starting with these elite bankers. And seeing with that being said, Esau, he's losing control of the narrative. Esau and all of the lies that he's told and all of the lies that he's telling are being revealed. And you have the men of the Lord, okay, we're out on the highways and hedges, okay, putting up lessons day in and day out, revealing this devil, okay, and his wicked agendas. However, with that being said, you're still going to have some simpletons, though. You have to just keep it real. And, this leads me to my next scripture. Okay, this is Proverbs, and this is chapter 14, and this is verse 15. And it reads, the simple believeth every word, but the prudent man looketh well into his going. And that's right, because here it is, you had the simple. They believe everything that this devil said when he came out with that juice squeeze, for that seed scamdemic, The simple, they believed everything this devil said. And see, if it didn't come from this devil, and see, this is how a lot of our people are. This just shows you how destroyed a lot of our people are. If it doesn't come from this devil, a lot of our people, they won't believe it. Okay. But a lot of our people, they believe this devil. Okay. When he said that, that he was trying to help them. And he came out with that stuff that he came out with. A lot of our people, they ran down there and they trusted in this devil with that stuff. And we're seeing the outcome of what's happened to a lot of these people, who trusted in these devils with that stuff. And see, here it is, as I had mentioned, back to this family member of mine. She had a man of the Lord, okay, warn her to stay clear of that stuff on multiple occasions. But because it didn't come from Esau, she ignored the warnings, okay, and she ran down there and she trusted in Esau with that stuff, Instead of listening to him, instead of listening to the men of the Lord, okay, she listened to this devil Esau. Okay, she listened to these pulpit pimps in these harlot houses. Okay, she listened to these other family members of hers. Okay, or I should say of ours. Okay, that were basically being Esau's minions. Okay, and they were pushing for everybody to run down there and trust in the enemy and get that stuff that Esau came out with during that seed scamdemic. That's who she listened to. And then also too, she was trying to save her job, trying to save her career. Okay, and so she put her faith and trust in man, okay, versus putting her faith and trust in the Lord Yahweh Bashim Yahushua. And it's not ending well for her, because here it is, she's been having several health scares, over these past few years. And now here it is, as I had mentioned earlier, she had a mammogram last week, and now here it is, she has to go back for a follow-up because something didn't look right. And so she's scared and nervous, and now asking people to pray for her. But again, this is what happens, though. When you trust in the devil versus trusting in the Lord Yahweh Bashim Yahushua, it never ends well. It never ends well. Proverbs chapter 14 and verse 15 again, it says, the simple believeth every word, but the prudent man looketh well into his going. And that's right. A prudent man, a wise man, he's going to look well into his goings. Okay, a prudent man is going to see the evils, and he's going to stay clear of the evils. Okay. A prudent man is going to take heed to the warnings and stay clear of the evils. But the simple, they pass on and they're punished because they ignore the warnings. And again, this family member of mine, she ignored the warnings. And now, things are not looking so bright for her. And again, it could be nothing, but at the end of the day, you just never know. You never know. She's nervous. And she's been having several health scares, since she ran down there and trusted in Esau with that stuff. Okay, I want to end off here in the book of Ecclesiasticus, and this is chapter 12, and this is verse 10. And it reads, never trust thy enemy, for like as iron rusted, so is his wickedness. And that's right. Okay, Esau has proven time and time again that he is the enemy, and he is not to be trusted. Here's this devil, he'll smile in your face. Okay, he'll speak to you all soft-spoken with these big words and whatnot, acting like he's trying to help you. But in the back of his mind, he wants to destroy you. Okay, because Esau has the perpetual hatred towards our people. And just like how iron will rust, this devil, he's going to show you his wickedness. He's going to show you his horns if you be around him long enough. Ecclesiasticus chapter 12, verse 10 again, it says, never trust thy enemy, for like as iron rusted, so is his wickedness. And see, here it is, a lot of our people, they put their faith and trust in this devil Esau, during that sea scamdemic, versus putting their faith and trust in the Lord Yahweh Bashim Abshai. And it's not ending well for them. Okay. And again, so much is coming out about these devils and all of these different Beetlejuices that these devils are coming out with. Again, Israel, I would not be trusting these devils with all of these different Beetlejuices that they're coming out with. I would not be trusting these devils, with your children, allowing these devils to violate your children with all of these different Beetlejuices. I would not be doing that. Okay. Because so much is coming out. Okay. About these different concoctions that these devils are trying to force on the people. Again, this devil Esau, okay, he's the wicked, he's the enemy, and he is not to be trusted. And so I'm going to go ahead and end off here. I hope it was edifying. Once again, I want to give all honor, praises, and glory to Yahweh, Bahashim, Yahweh Shai, and double honors and respect to the elders and apostles of Great Millstone, Kwam Yasharala and Abba Babar. Shalom.